It's a good intro.
It is. It's Young Thug.
Yeah, it is.
Wait, what's this episode on?
That's where I was at.
Welcome back, boys. Welcome back to the Get That Skate podcast.
I'm Harry Clarke.
And we have a new guest on the show today. One of the boys from the Central Coast, someone who I've skated with for many a year now.
From the get-go, mate.
Introduce yourself.
Ian, Coggan,
Ian, Coggan, Coggo, whatever you want to call him. Keegan, it's up to you.
Keegs. Yeah.
How are we, boys?
Yeah, we're good. Great.
Better now.
Better now, mate. Soft drink, San Pellegrino.
Get that skate drink. Refreshing.
What's been happening?
Not a lot, man. Just, skating, chilling, surfing. Get amongst it.
Yeah.
What you,
same.
Coggo?
Oh, too much work, bit of uni. A lot of skating lately though,
Yep.
which is actually
It's good. You're looking to get a new board soon, eh?
Yeah, I'm trying to
What are you thinking of buying?
trying to edge onto that Harry Clarke Pro model.
What a coincidence.
I'm not plugging you here.
Here's one I prepared earlier.
But yeah, I've got my mind on the Madrid game at the moment, so I'm just eyeing a few boards off. I want that Zach Maiden one, that red one.
Yep.
It's pretty nice and little.
Very nice
Dude,
board.
Madrid have always had great wood.
Great wood.
It is good wood.
Yeah.
I can
Well,
confirm.
I've been a Valhalla I've rode Valhalla boards for many years now. You even had a showstopper yourself and a Master Blaster.
That
I rode a
Master
Master Blaster as well, yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Good stuff. I mean, like those boys in the factory know what they're doing.
Yeah.
The human CNC boys, and they're great, man. You get to see that all the boards are made in house.
I'd love to go there one day.
Mate,
Yeah, what a time.
I'd
Get
love
some
to
clips
take you
through
there.
there. Yeah.
You get to see the little Venom, like the Venom HQ.
Yeah. Was it like the corner?
It's actually, they built it. It's a big warehouse, right? So
Yeah.
it's got high ceilings and
Yeah.
stuff, and then they've built it like an office block inside
Yeah.
with like, regular ceilings like we have here.
Yeah.
And so you walk into the building and it's like, just a regular building.
Yeah.
You walk out into the hangar.
Yeah.
Or whatever, and then you walk up this rickety staircase which vibrates from side to side as you walk up, and on top of the office block is the Venom HQ, which is just a
right.
bunch of like boxes like this
Yeah.
with this hole cut out just filled to the brim with bushings and every shape, every duro, and that's it. And like it's great. It's a
Wheels
great
as well?
experience. Well, no, wheels are downstairs. Just
Okay.
the bushings.
What? So, as someone who's been to the factory, like, not a lot of downhill skateboarders get to go to places like this. So, what do you reckon the most amount of wheels you've seen in front of you is? Just put a number on it. Just throw it out there.
Yeah.
The most amount of wheels that I've ever seen in front of me wasn't actually in the Venom warehouse.
Where was it?
It was in Max Heaton's garage.
Oh yeah, I was there.
It was in Max
yeah.
Heaton's garage pre-Newton's 2018.
Yeah, yeah.
Or maybe it was 2019.
19, because it was
19.
when like Caden and
So-
all them were there.
It came on pallets
Yeah,
to his house, and
Dude.
we did the whole Aussie order for everybody for the whole year
Yeah.
of Magnums, and I've never seen so many wheels in my entire life.
which reminds me.
Like you could stack them to the roof
Yeah,
easily.
yeah. Which reminds me.
In boxes,
When are you
not just
gonna
sets.
do another one of those? Who wants to buy this box of half-written Magnums? Because I'm ready. I'm down. For
Yo,
it.
everybody slept on that.
Yeah,
you saw it a year
Yeah,
later.
because I was broke a year ago. No, I'm not.
Yeah, I had all those scrubbies.
Yeah.
But yeah, keep your eyes peeled. You never know.
Yeah, just chuck a care package to the Central Coast.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, if you was actually skated, maybe I would.
we do.
Anyway,
Yeah.
no one wants to ask about me. Fine.
How are you, Jack Meyn?
I'm good. Thank you so much for asking. I've been riding your board. I like it. I love
I'm
it.
happy to hear it.
Yeah. I really wish it had like a proper Haz Clarke graphic on it, but we're waiting patiently. We're patiently waiting. I know it's going to happen.
It's
They
happening.
got that
Yeah.
green and gold one, but it's not.
I think he means it more with like something that isn't stock.
Oh yeah, true.
Because
I mean-
what were the quill and the green and gold on like longboards or?
So the story behind that is
Yeah.
that we finalized the design late last year.
Yep.
So I was actually in LA on a stopover going to the last race after Mary Hill. I was going to Peru and I stopped in LA because I was flying from there.
Yeah.
And we finalized the design and we're pretty much like, well, if you win this thing, we're going to have to put this out as like straight away because people are going to want it.
Yeah.
You know, we got to capitalize on this.
Yep.
So we don't have time to do a graphic. I'm like, mate, we haven't even finalized the board design yet. Like what mold's it going to be in? So we finalized that and we got it down. We made the decision and then we're like, well, graphic. And I'm like, well, I want this. And like, you know, let's be realistic on the time constraints that we have here. So when you go to the factory, they have a wall and a big step ladder.
Yep.
And there's like drawers that you can pull little pieces of like plastic film out.
Yes.
And so they do screen printing.
Yeah.
So they I'm not sure what the process is called. Maybe it's screen printing. No,
yeah.
It's
heat transfer.
Heat transfer, that's it. So they have like skins.
Yeah.
And you can just pull these plastic skins out and there's like a wall with a massive step ladder. And then you just go pick one.
And did you roll it through?
No, because I can't do that.
Well, but
somebody does.
Is that what they did? Yeah, I remember in old Sector 9 videos, they'd show how they'd put the graphic
so it's like
on.
a heat thing there, top of the board, and then it goes through these big fucking roller things. And sorry.
So whatever happened, because I really, really like the legs graphic.
I like the legs graphic, but I think they just at the end of the day, they decided against it.
Pardon,
or gassy. Yeah. They decided against it. And I went for the green and gold straight away.
Yeah.
Because, you know, Australia.
Yeah.
I was going to bring this shit home and I was, green and gold. And then one of the other guys there was actually like, oh, why don't we do two for those, you know, who aren't Australian?
Sorry.
And then they decided on the quill. And I was like, yeah, I'm about it, whatever.
Yeah. Looks good.
Looks good. It does look very nice. And I do prefer it now.
Yeah.
But I always rock the green and gold.
Right.
And that's the story of that graphic. I'm working on getting something out with my name on it.
Yeah. Can't wait to see it.
For the next drop.
You got wheels with your name on it?
I do have wheels. I mean, I don't have wheels with my name on it, but they do exist.
It's not good. You got gloves with your name on them?
Yeah, I do have those though. Those are cool. And just man, like I never, ever would have thought in a million years that I would have all that stuff with my name in it. So I'm just like grateful for all those people
absolutely
that are down to put that on their product. And
you've definitely put in the hard yards to make it to this point.
Thank you very much.
Yeah. My favorite Haz a product was probably definitely the Get That shirt.
Oh yeah, dude, that one right there. Oh, come on.
What?
Yeah, it's so sick.
So I hit you boys up. I said, come. Well, you're from the coast, but I said it has come up to the coast. Let's just talk a bit. We've done some different topics on the podcast, but I just put a feeler out on the social media, on the Instagram, asked just out to anyone out there, whether they know us or not, for some questions. And like talking about the factory and these products with your name on it and everything, I'll just kick off with this question. Oh. And feel free, like if it's a question for all of us to answer, I might even get you to read some. But let's start with this one first. Do team riders, now this would be obviously situation based, like it's not the same for everyone. But in your case, do team riders get hooked up with gear or is there a contract involved?
So it depends on the company that you ride for.
Yep.
As far as I've ascertained, it depends who you ride for, who your team manager is, who your owner is.
Yep.
So I've signed a couple contracts, but not for who you think.
Yeah.
So if you had to have a guess who I signed a contract for, who do you think it would be for?
I'd say Madrid straight up.
Bam Bam.
Yep.
Yeah.
So I've signed a contract for Bam Bam.
Yep.
Christian over at Bam Bam runs a tight ship.
Yeah.
So he'll come up at the end of the year and be like, "Hey, are you happy like to continue writing for us? If you are, like, sign this contract, you know, and fill out some details. We'll be like, oh, what events are you planning to go to? Just so he has an idea of what to expect from you in the coming year.
Yeah.
Sign on the dotted line. Happy days.
Yeah.
So I signed a contract for Bam Bam. I signed a contract for SPDW, believe it or not, back in the day.
Yeah.
That's a longboard shop in Hong Kong for those people who don't know.
Yeah, the boys.
Back in the day I did, but no one else. It's all been verbal agreements with Venom and Madrid and Rogue.
I've got a contract as well with Get That.
Oh yes, yeah. I did sign a contract with you for the shirts and
just like rights and whatnot.
Yeah, because it's me.
Yeah,
and whatnot. Actually, that was you and Bam Bam. Are the only people.
Yeah, my contract system is just like, are you allowing me to put this product out?
Yeah.
Here's what I can give you in return. Bloody yeah. And it works well so far considering the size of the brand, and it's only going to get bigger from here. So
yeah exactly.
And I know a lot of dudes back in the day when there was like money involved and you get a salary and you get a travel budget.
Oh man.
Yeah. One can only imagine, right?
Yeah.
So I know there was contracts definitely back then.
Yep.
And I know a lot of other companies, for example, you know, that a lot of the other boys ride for, they do sign contracts.
Yep.
Like I think Quay, you sign a contract.
Yeah, right.
But it's
Yeah.
the other boys, it's just.
I mean, if you're at the level where you can, you know, provide that kind of support for people, a contract would be the best thing to put in place.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So it's a good way to go about it.
Yeah.
So we'll move on. Most rewarding moment on a skateboard.
Cargo.
For me, oh Jesus.
Yeah, man.
Now this is all straight off the dome. Like we haven't.
Yeah. No.
I just wrote the questions down.
I don't know, man. After our first hill that we skated in Europe together, remember that? Straja.
Yep.
So I hadn't skated for 2 years there, man.
Was it raining on your first run?
No. The first run was sweet, man.
The dry day out of the 5 days.
Day one.
Yeah, one day that was dry.
What a day
it
was, my friends.
Man, I'm telling you, I hadn't skated for 2 years, and like we kicked off the push line together, and like I didn't even know if I could slide. I had a new board from Hop that he hooked up, and like
we're both on brand new boards and we hadn't skated them yet.
Yeah.
We're dropping in the Straja.
Yeah, I was just
I
like,
had the same experience.
And you know how much we skate? Oh,
yeah, and I just had no idea, and I just looked at Jack. I was like, oh, if I make the first corner, I can probably make the second one.
How many corners is there at that hill?
Oh
man,
endless. That's one of the longest tracks that exists.
Yeah,
thank God there's a gondola going up.
But definitely getting to the gondola at the bottom, and like I was just the most stoked that I've ever been after any hill.
I was so stoked going there, man. What a great time.
Actually, making it at the bottom of Newton's the first time was pretty comparable. Like imagine that 2012 thing, like foot breaking into the elbow. Like that was wild, man.
I would have died. Straight up.
Yeah, that was
died.
What about you?
I was allowed.
What about you? Haz most rewarding moment? I can answer it for you if you want.
Try.
Well, you are the 2019 world champion. That's pretty.
Definitely.
But the thing is, when I won a championship, I wasn't skating. That's the weird thing that not a lot of people know. I won a championship. Like, I got told you're world champion after a race got cancelled. The whole of the last year, I was just defending.
Yeah, but you did so much.
Yeah, no,
it's a deserving title. So take it. Yeah,
well, I will take it. And I'm going to run with it.
From the outside looking in, everyone would be like, yeah, well, because we were all so happy and like got around it. Yeah, Australian being the world champion.
Stoked.
But tell me, from you personally, what's the most rewarding moment you've had? I'm not going to say on a skateboard specifically, but with downhill skateboarding, because mine isn't necessarily on a skateboard.
Most rewarding, I think it was the end of 2018, because not a lot of people know this, but at the end of 2018, it was supposed to be my last year of traveling and skating and doing this thing. And
why is that?
I don't know. I just felt like a little bit of pressure just from, I guess you'd call it society, just to,
life,
pucker up,
grow up a little bit, and
pucker up, and stop being a bum and whatnot. And here we are. I was gonna be like, this is gonna be my last crack. I'm gonna give it absolutely everything that I have to see if I can properly do this thing. And if if I don't get to where I am at, I'll be okay with that. And where I want to be, you know what I mean. And I ended up like 6th in the world. Yeah. Like came so close to winning a race.
Yeah.
And
dude.
So tantalizing close. Quite a few times. Like 3 times, and just crashed and burned. I think at the end of that year, that's when I was like the most proud of myself to be like, man, I did it. And that's what gave me the motivation to come back in 2019 and then really get after it. And look what happened. Imagine if I stopped.
I know. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, pretty bizarre to think about.
Yeah, it's crazy to think about. I think that's the most rewarding sort of feeling. It wasn't necessarily like on track moment. But it was like just a feeling that I got after the completion of a season. Yeah. That was cool.
Yeah, that's sick. I like it. Go on.
What about you?
Yeah.
My most rewarding is, as I said, not necessarily on a board. There was a lot of being on a board involved, but I went on a trip to Hawaii with the boys, and it took me, because you came on my second time to Hawaii. Yeah. Miles came too. Miles came again, but it wasn't until the fourth time that I had Dominic Taylor, Jaden Spake, Jack Mulholland, Miles Jones was there. It was us, and we had, it was a trip. It was just out of this world, that trip. But I put in. This is just after I started Get That.
You skated Get That?
Yeah. Well, just after I started Get That, and I thought, well, this is my chance to, you know, with all the boys going over here, don't know if they'll ever come back. You know what those boys are like. And I thought this is my chance to really put in the work and make a video.
Yes.
Yeah. And so basically what happened is I filmed every day. Some that you can ask Miles about it. I filmed all day one day. I asked Miles to film me, but he was too tired, and I had a crack.
You know, he has a big day. He gets
but yeah, I filmed so much of all the people out there and the boys that we were with, and I came home and I just got stuck into editing and put a lot of effort into it. Shout out to Linus. He provided me a lot of music he made for it.
Shouts out to Diddy Moss.
I used some Gucci Mane in it. I used Turnstile, a good hardcore band that I love, and I made something that, like, still I'm so proud of. But what was rewarding for me with that, not only the personal side, because that was the most rewarding part of, like, downhill skateboarding for me so far, but what was rewarding about it was I premiered it at Newton's 2019. Yeah.
Yep.
Newton's 2019. I premiered it. I put a thing up in the event page saying, look, if you're at Newton's, come down to my hotel room. And honestly, man, we got a bit of food, and I was expecting 10 to 15 dudes coming.
Yeah, just gonna suss it out and see.
And
what's
the
going
time
on.
was ticking, and a few people rocked up. I was sweet. Didn't think they'd come. My mum and Nicole, my mum's best friend, who were always at Bathurst there to support myself and the boys, counted, I think it was like 72 people walked through the door. So we had a big hotel room.
Luckily,
still a hotel room,
but we had a small television. And there was dudes, and there was like girls, dudes, all just awesome people, skaters there. And it's like rewarding for me because the effort I put in trying to film people. And I know and there's so many people who make far better videos than I do, but it was just like so rewarding that I put in the effort and a lot of people showed up and to support it. And yeah, that was one of the best nights of my life that night, straight up.
True.
And yeah, I'm grateful to remember it, but I think it was Linus took a film photo of like everyone out in the lounge room, and we're all watching it. And yeah, I think back to that, and I'm like, man, that was a moment for sure.
That's a sick moment.
Yeah, that's my moment. Haz, you may not want to comment on this, but give us the juice on the IDF.
Elections are coming up. January 16th is when you need to get your submissions in if you want to be part of the board. If you're one of those people that are talking shit on the internet.
Yep. Do something about it.
Now it's your turn to step up and do something about it.
I feel like a lot of people would agree that the board needs refreshing.
Shake up.
It's a hard job, man.
Yeah, it is. It would definitely be a hard job.
I've stepped up and I'm trying to do my part. Part of this writers committee thing that's kind of what we got going on.
Yeah.
So I sit in on the meetings.
Okay.
And I do like deliberate with them, and I listen to the thing. Like, it's not easy, man. Especially when everybody is just trash talking you, and every single move you make gets blasted.
Criticized,
blasted. You know, they'll blast you down to the punctuation.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And, you know, I can't say whether it's, you know, valid or not, all that shit talk, but, you know, at the end of the day, now it's your turn to do something about it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So if you're not happy, you people, if you're not happy, sign up, get down, help out.
Do something about it.
Yeah, do something. Don't just talk shit. Do something. Back it up.
Do it for downhill skating. Hey?
Absolutely.
Like, it's fully what it's about.
Yeah.
We all do it, so we got to be a part of it.
Yeah.
Whatever we can do.
So another question that we had sent in was, and it's there's two here below and above each other. I'll kind of tie them in. How to get into it without a coach / friends. I didn't have a coach. I had mates.
I'm a coach. Hit me up.
Oh yeah, and tips for beginners. So just basically how to get into it without having a crew, which is I had a crew when I was younger, and I'm grateful for it, but I overlook that what's the word? How lucky I was.
Yeah.
Some people
definitely.
Some people don't have a crew.
I think a lot of people think they don't have a crew.
Yeah.
But if they actually branched out and actively looked, go through your local area Facebook pages, even if it's not like, like you could be from an hour away. Yeah. Even if it's someone 2 hours away, you can travel and that can still be your crew.
Yeah.
What I mean?
Look at someone like Mitch Thompson,
right,
who lives all the way at Bathurst. Think of how many kilometers he would have under his belt driving to and from there.
Yeah, heaps.
Yeah. What would you suggest to someone who doesn't necessarily have? They're not. Let's just say like I don't know, like down at Wagga Wagga or something.
Man, what got you into skating was just, or was it just watching videos?
Videos,
thinking you want to do what they're doing.
100%.
Man, that's
what would you add? What would you add to the mix for someone who doesn't have any downhill skaters or longboarders around them? What would you suggest for them to do?
Well, aside from, the whole watch the videos, do the trick tips, all that sort of thing, social media. Yeah. I found it like the most enticing once I found the people. Yeah. So go find the people. Yeah. Even if, so for example, you live in Wagga. Yeah. Make it so one weekend, 1 month in the future, you hit someone up like, hey, I want to come to Sydney. Yeah. And I want to skate with you. Like, I hope you guys don't mind. Like, I'm just trying to get into things, Yeah. Go out of your way. Once you find somebody, once you find, your like-minded people, your tribe, whatever you want to call it. Yeah. That's what solidified me skating forever. Yeah. Finding crew. Yeah.
So a cool story I heard, and I know times are different these days with social media, but legendary ex-Sector 9 rider from Hawaii, Ethan Lau.
What a legend.
Hope you've heard of the name. Yeah. So I've heard a legend. I've heard some stories about back in the day that he would put on races, right? Pre-social media. Yeah. But he'd print off little kind of cards, and when he'd see anybody skating, shortboard, longboard, what's those ATV boards with the big wheels? No matter who he'd see riding a four-wheeled recreational toy, he'd give the address and the date of a race and say, look, you don't have to come, but just come check it out. And like what that turned into was a huge scene on Oahu there, and people coming to races like the 420 bomb at Tantalus, races they have at the Scorcher, all these types of things. And it's like things are a lot easier these days with social media, but even just doing that, if you're in a town where there's no one else riding a big board and you see someone riding any kind of skateboard, just go and say hello.
That actually happened to me. Like, I was riding through skating through Sydney. Yeah, like, we're just on a city skate on old cruisers from a surf shop. Yeah, and like we were just skating near Central Station, and we seen Gabe Gwynn. Yeah, man, he just came up to us and he goes, "Hey guys, you guys skate?" And we're like, "Sorta. We like skating. It's fun." And then he just goes, "Well, man, we got this thing happens on Thursday nights, and that's Bomb Squad." Wow. And he goes, "You guys are welcome. Like, bring your friends, and we'll just go and skate some car parks and skate around the city." And like, how good, man. Little like 15-year-old kids, dude, just so stoked on that.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Like, and when you went to that Bomb Squad for the first time, how sick was it? Dude. Feeling like an outlaw, pushing through the city at night. Exactly. Screaming and hollering through parking garages. All cramming in the lift.
We gotta get Mateo up here or something. Yeah, do some Bomb Squad chat.
Yeah. So Bomb Squad history. Yeah, man. It's definitely something that needs to be discussed. I can't speak for it, but I know there's some stories.
Oh yeah. Well, I've got some myself.
Yeah, I mean things like that. That just makes a huge difference. Yeah. Like, and you remember that to this day.
Yeah, dude, that's more than 10 years ago.
Yeah, exactly.
That's just one interaction.
Yeah, I mean, and that's something that we can do as, people who are already in the scene. Like, you could change somebody's life. Yeah. Straight up.
Well, that's the thing. Skateboard's taking us all around the world.
Yeah. Yes, sir.
More than once.
Yes, sir.
First slide. I've got two good stories, but you start off. First slide.
Yeah. First slide.
What was it? What did it feel like? How'd you know what to do? Weird question, but it's a good one.
Yeah, it's
weird
good.
question. It was a stand-up slide.
Yep.
Didn't have gloves.
Yeah, right.
No
You're doing a
gloves.
standy.
Well, okay. Backstory.
Yeah.
I bought an Apex 37
Yep.
from Original, like the one with the carbon bar.
Yep.
And I was like doing like flip tricks and shove-its and whatnot, because that's what I thought was cool.
Yeah.
And then I saw them doing like stand-up power slides and whatnot. So that's what I was on. I didn't have gloves. I did have a helmet, but I was just out there, just trying to do that sort of thing. And so my first slide was a stand-up 180.
Yeah, right.
And it was awesome. It's like so stoked.
What about you, Ian?
Yeah, it would have definitely been a hands down like Coleman type thing, but it was definitely wet, man, and we were in just
yeah.
It was definitely wet, and we were just in the flattest car park, just pushing in and just doing Colemans to dead stops, and it was just sick. Like there was no way it was full pendy spec. Like we couldn't bring it back. It was just like that was sweet. It was just the best time.
I got like a 2-part. One was my brother Ricky.
Oh yeah.
I lived in Carryong, and my mate used to spend a lot of time up at mine with me, and we were riding Sector 9s, like cruisers. Nothing downhill. But we got a candle, right, and waxed up a square of the road out the front of mine.
What?
And we were just, no gloves, man, hands down, and as soon as you like put a bit of weight off the board, it would just like spin you around. And it was weird because I lived in Carryong, like my hometown, when I was younger for a long time.
I've never heard anything like that before.
Yeah, dude, and that wax square stayed for a long time. But, and Ian, you'll like remember this, when we started getting into downhill, it was bombing hills. We weren't sliding yet. Like we met each other and knew each other before we were sliding.
Yeah.
So there was a brand, Seishun, but they had these precision trucks named Plasma.
Got
and then
some.
yeah. And then Plasma precision trucks also made a red wheel, right? But they had an advertisement, and it was the first time I ever saw Thane lines. These bright red lines. I'm thinking, what the hell is going on? And then we decided that if you slide fast enough, that's something I should have added to the people who were getting into it without friends. You cannot slide without speed. It's scary, but it's way easier to do a slide with speed. But yeah, and then I was like, what? Like the wheels are leaving colour on the road. But yeah.
I remember that.
So I went to Suicide Hill up at Carryong by myself. I had yellow stims, yellow Otang stims.
I had the perps.
And I was doing these hillside slides and hoping my board wouldn't fly down because no one was there to catch it. And I remember I had this old hip top phone with the worst camera, and I was taking photos of the lines. And I went to school and I was showing my mates. I was like, look at this. They're like, okay.
Nice.
It's my first slide. Favorite Queensland hill?
Oh, you can just drop that on me. Are you serious?
It's a hard one.
Favorite Queensland hill?
There's only one hill I'm thinking about.
I haven't spent enough time. I haven't spent enough time up there.
Favorite Queensland hill?
You spent time there. That's why I directed it at you.
It has to be Glorious.
Glorious.
But that's because I'm going through it quickly. But yeah, it has to be Glorious. Session side Glorious.
Yep.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. It's just the epitome of like hold on
and
just drop the hammer.
Yeah.
It's fantastic. Fantastic. Just deadly, and like if you crash, it will just eat you. It's like this,
I've seen the Chunda.
Oh, it's insane. Like I'll talk about this forever, and you'll never actually understand the level of the Chunda that I'm talking about until you go you lose the feeling in your feet.
Yeah.
Like you're just skating and you just hope your feet are there.
Yeah.
It's mad, and you can just smoke magnums from fresh to dust.
There's a great
So
photo
good.
of Max Heaton that Jacob Lambert took. You know the one.
There's great photos that Jacob Lambert took of me and Josh, but they just had never seen the light of day.
They'll
So Lambert, if you're watching, please.
The people need it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of questions coming through, and I ask the people out there for some questions for us, because a lot of people, you know, they watch the podcast, they see who gets amongst the crew, but it's good. I just thought it would be good for people to have the opportunity to throw in some questions and ask. Cool. Yeah. That's sick. So if you're listening or if you're watching, we appreciate it a lot. It's good fun. We didn't have to think of a topic to talk about.
No.
We weren't struggling. But it's if we reach out for questions, throw whatever our way, and we'll try our best to do it, to answer them.
Sure.
Thanks, boys.
No worries, man.
Ooh.